I'm super excited to be here. This is actually my 7th Dreamforce, both from a Salesforce perspective, an SI, and now a partner of Salesforce from a product and technology standpoint. So thank you for being part of the community. It's been a great reunion thus far, and I look forward to the rest of Dreamforce. So as we begin today, we've got some amazing guest speakers. As I mentioned earlier, I'm Shawn Gallagher. I'm the Salesforce Executive Lead at Tanium. With me today, I have Kevin Wales, who's the VP of Architecture and Enterprise, VP of Application Development and Enterprise Architecture at Cracker Barrel. And I also have Hoskison with me today as well. He's the CRO of Cloudaction. But before we jump in and have those two tell the amazing story around Cracker Barrel today, I'd like to take a minute to talk about Tanium. So Tanium, this is our first official Dreamforce. We are the first ever converged endpoint management platform, focusing on some of the largest organizations in the world, managing their asset IT network infrastructure for some of the largest customers in the world. So personally, we focus on about 30 million endpoints. We have 50% of the Fortune 100 customers, 8 of the 10 larger financial institutions, and 7 of the 8 branches of the military. So we have some of the greatest customers out there is today. What are we doing with Salesforce? So we have partnered with Salesforce for a solution called IT Service Center. And solution platforms, the Tanium Cloud solution, as well as the Salesforce platform, to ultimately create an IT Service Center that provides real-time data intelligence from IT and network assets, ultimately driving proactive IT service management for employees. So, enough about Tanium. I'd like to introduce again Kevin Wales, the VP of Application Development and Enterprise Architecture. So nothing like a random segue and going through your pitch. To be here, thank you for coming today. So help in your role at Cracker Barrel.
Thanks, Shawn. Whoa, that's loud. All right, well, first a little bit about Cracker Barrel. If any of you have taken a drive along our interstates throughout the country, either going to grandma's house or going on family vacation, for sure you've seen one of the Cracker Barrels along the side of the road. We've got 664 of them throughout 47 states. It's a retail country store along with a restaurant. If you've been there, you know what it is, but if you don't, we like to call it a nice, safe, comfortable place where you can pull off, where our guests are treated like family, and you can relax in our iconic rocking chairs on the front porch. You can come inside and sit in front of our warm fireplace and play checkers with your grandchildren, and then cozy up for a nice meal, a home-cooked scratch meal, cooked from scratch in our dining room. After you're done eating, you can go to our unique, nostalgic gift shop, where we sell all sorts of retail items and gifts and indulgence. In our restaurant, we serve country foods, very popular in the southeastern United States. Anything from chicken and dumplings to meatloaf, and we serve breakfast all day for those of you who want pancakes and eggs at 7 o'clock at night. You'd be amazed how many people want breakfast for dinner nowadays, but it does sell. Our retail store has everything from candy, toys, games, all sorts of nostalgic things that parents would be calling out to their kids. Oh my God, when I was a child, I used to eat this candy, or you used to play the game. And then Cracker Barrel is also really into the holidays and seasonal merchandise. If you go into a Cracker Barrel today, you'll see our Halloween displays right up there next to our Christmas displays. It's only September, but our Halloween displays are just about sold out. They went in shortly after 4th of July, and our Christmas displays will be gone before Thanksgiving, so get in there soon. So my role, I'm VP of Architecture and Development, and you would say, well, what does that have to do with technology at Cracker Barrel? It's just a little country store. Well, it's so much more than a country store. As I described, it's really 2 businesses in a year and a full retail operation. So in order to run and support those 2 businesses, there's actually tons of technology in place. We've got over 13,000 endpoints, various different devices, tablets, servers, handhelds, big POS platforms, kitchen display systems, employee labor tracking systems, time clock systems, off-premise ordering systems, retail management systems. We have a distribution center in Lebanon, Tennessee, where we receive products from all over the world. We warehouse them and we ship them out to our stores on trucks every single week with merchandise, financial planning and allocation systems, replenishment systems. The number of systems goes on, and that doesn't include all of our finance, HR, finance, GL, accounting, sales audits. There's over 330 systems at Cracker Barrel that we need to keep running to provide a great guest experience. When these systems have a problem, my team is responsible for fixing that problem. I own the support center, which, prior to this project, the support center was really pick up the phone and call us when you have a problem, whether it's a hard down problem or a soft down problem. So that's my role there. That's what I do at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, Kevin, and thank you for that. And before even getting to know Cracker Barrel, I had no idea the amount of IT and technology that you guys have in place to run those stores. So really amazing in terms of what you do and what you have to manage. So one of the things, Cracker Barrel was focusing on, obviously, is employee service experience. So tell us a little bit about why employee service experience was a key priority for Cracker Barrel this past year and transforming your business.
So, as you can see up there, since 1969, Cracker Barrel's mission has been pleasing people. And for people in IT, if you're not pleasing a guest, you should be pleasing someone who is. If you're not serving the guest, serve someone who is serving the guest. And that's our role, right? And our leadership noticed that our store employees were spending a lot of time on the phone with IT, on the phone with our support desk, trying to resolve problems, instead of being out on the floor with our guests in the dining room or serving our guests out on the retail floor. It was becoming a problem, and the employees were not happy about it. Whenever they had a problem, they would be sitting on the phone talking to our staff, and frankly on hold for quite some time. So, service is part of our DNA, and in order to provide a great guest experience, you have to provide a great employee experience. And we weren't providing the best employee experience. But a good employee experience with a positive employee, a happy, satisfied employee, turns into a positive, happy, satisfied guest who is satisfied with their meal or their retail purchase or their entire experience at Cracker Barrel. So that was the impetus of the project, to get our management team and our staff out of the back office, stop worrying about technology problems and dealing with issues with these 13,000 different devices we have out there, and give them more time on the floor.
Thank you for that, Kevin. That's a great update with regards to employee experience impacting customer service experience at the restaurants. One of the key things around that you mentioned was all the great food and everything else. So one of my favorites is the Grandpa's Country Fried Breakfast. What's yours, Kevin?
If you ask me, it's strawberry cheesecake pancakes. It's a new item that's on the menu. If you haven't had it yet, if you can imagine, take a pancake, put some cheesecake batter in the middle of it, fold the pancake over in half, cover it with strawberries and some powdered sugar, a nice dollop of whipped cream on the top, and if that's not enough for you, it comes with 2 eggs, bacon, country ham, or sausage, even Impossible sausage if that's what you care for. And it's just shy of 1,400 calories, so you probably won't need to eat lunch after.
You are passionate about the strawberry cheesecake pancakes. Hey, Keith, what's yours?
So after church every Sunday, I consume my 27,300 calories with this thing called the Grandma Sampler. It's got a little everything. You walk out there, take a nice Sunday afternoon nap, and you're ready to go. So most Sundays every month.
Awesome. So Kevin, I think we got a little trivia here for a quick segue in terms of asking the audience.
Sure, I don't know how we're going to give away, but we got a little Cracker Barrel gift card for whoever gets closest to this. Just start calling out numbers. Whoever gets closest, come on up after. We'll give you a $50 Cracker Barrel gift card. So I talk a lot about pancakes. I love the pancakes. How many pancakes do you think Cracker Barrel sells every year? I can't hear you. Shout louder. 4 million. Keep going. 7 million, keep going. 100 million, that's too many.
20 million.
Keep going. 39 million. Keep going. 67. Close enough. It's 75 million.
Oh.
And one more for you. If we sell 75 million pancakes, how many eggs do we sell? 150 million. Close enough. It's 162 million.
Yeah.
$50 gift card for you.
Stop by up after the session. You guys can pick up your cards at. So that was fantastic. So one of the things I mentioned earlier was IT Service Center, Kevin. So with all the other products and solutions out there, what made you pick IT Service Center for your employee service experience?
Well, it was really pretty obvious. We needed a full transformation of our existing service center. It was a legacy, antiquated, homegrown system that it really wasn't a system. It just opened a ticket and kept track that there was a problem at a store. That's about all it did. And the way that our stores interfaced with our support team was basically pick up the phone and wait in a queue. That's the worst customer experience, and we were doing that to our employees, just making them wait on the queue, regardless of the severity of the problem, whether it was a store down incident or you just needed to order a new iPad or Surface tablet because you dropped it and cracked the screen. So we needed a complete transformation of it. We needed a single unified platform that could not only handle IT service-related issues, but all employee service-related issues. There was really no managed process in place for opening a case, following a workflow or an automation, and following that case through to the end. It was a lot of phone calls, emails, text messages, a very fragmented process, if you will. We were already on the Salesforce platform for many of the other Salesforce products. We were using Marketing Cloud, we were using CDP, we were using Service Cloud in other areas of our business. We were using MuleSoft for integrations. We were using Tableau for reporting. What else were we using? We had a lot of Salesforce products in there. So we wanted something that could scale to all of our stores, that was easy to use, that the store managers, we couldn't do training at all these stores on how to use the new platform. It just had to be obvious, simple, and straightforward. We literally gave them one PDF, like a one-pager that said, go to this URL, and when you get there, it says, how can I help you? And you type in what you need, and I'll get to the details of what it does later. We also, as I mentioned, because we just had this little ticketing system, we had no visibility into what was really going wrong in the stores. We didn't know if a store had 10 problems open or 100 tickets open. We didn't know if it was focused on a particular system was having problems, if a particular geographic region was having problems. There really was no visibility into what was happening. The only people that could see this ticketing system were the people that worked in the service center. The people at the stores couldn't see what tickets they had open. Their management couldn't see what tickets they had open. And then we also wanted to provide an employee self-service capability, so the employees could solve these problems themselves without having to call IT. It's not always that a system is down or something is broken. A lot of times they just don't know how to use the system, or they're trying to, do something that they've never done before, and they call us and wait on the phone for 20 or 30 minutes for an agent to get to them to tell them, oh, just click this over here, restart that, and you're good to go. So we wanted to provide some kind of self-service capability for all the employees.
That's great, Kevin. And how long did it take to get to your phase one deployment go live?
Well, we started out, right out of the gate. We hired Cloudaction to come in and help us configure the platform, but it needed to have out of the box capabilities with customizations that we would put in along the way. So it took us 4 months, start to finish, and we really did fundamentally transform the service center platform. Now we can see exactly what's going on in the stores. We can see how many problems. I can't tell you how many times somebody would call us up and, we couldn't get back to them, so they leave us a message. We call back, and when we get to the store, there's like 100 people that work in a Cracker Barrel. The person who answers the phone, when they call back, they have no idea why we're calling. Like, hey, this is Cracker Barrel Service Center. We're here to fix your problem. They're like, I don't know what problem you're talking about. So we're like, well, your boss called. Yeah, well, he's not here anymore. She went home. So these tickets would go on and on. We're trying to find the person who called them. So it transformed it. Now that they can see all their open tickets, and what would happen in those cases, they would call their district managers or their regional vice presidents, and they would escalate up to our leadership saying, hey, the support center isn't helping us. But there was no documented incident that we could reference and say, well, yeah, we called them and they called us. We also had no ITIL processes. We had no ITIL. We weren't following any ITIL principles at all. So in 4 months, we got a full ITIL compliance system. That's the foundation for us to build going forward.
That's fantastic, Kevin. So nice little segue there. So Keith, Hoskison, Cloudaction, CRO, you guys implemented Cracker Barrel within 4 months, going from an internal system to an ITIL, ITSC solution. Tell us a little bit about Cloudaction and yourself.
Yes, I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for the company. I'm also the executive sponsor for Kevin and Cracker Barrel. Very, very important client for us. We want to make sure we get all the right things to take care of them. A little bit on the company. First, what we're not. One of the things that I like about Cloudaction is we are very, very specific on where we focus and where we don't. So we don't claim to be all things to all people. So we've done about 600 or so service management projects today. With very, very high customer satisfaction. When we get engaged thus far, we've had very, very good track record of success there. The Cracker Barrel project fits our wheelhouse specifically for what we do very, very well. So when Samir, the founder who's here with us today, brought me on board, he specifically said, we're going to stay with what we do. We're going to be world class at that. And we kind of stayed true to that vision. So this project got our attention because it's right in the middle of what we do. And it's also high profile marquee customer with connecting IT to the business problem, which is kind of a sexy opportunity for us.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Keith. So if you're looking to implement or deploy ITSC, what are some of the key points customers should think of when implementing the solution?
So really with any project, one of the things that was kind of cool, you heard Kevin talk about connecting the project to the business. So if you think about any project you and I have ever implemented, if everyone has a good, clear understanding of the vision, strategy, and you can connect that to kind of a North Star, i.e. impact of the business, you got a really good chance of being very successful. The other thing that Kevin and team did, consistent. So I don't know how many times you guys have been involved in a software project where the scope starts like this, laser focus, and before you know it, that's kind of one of those things. We call it scope creep. We stayed really right within the bounds of what we set out to do out of the get-go. We were within 2 days of what we said we were going to do from a on time, on budget. So we were on budget, and we hit the go live time frame within a couple days. That's because we stay very, very focused on there. Great team collaboration. So everybody kind of knew their roles within the organization. Kevin kind of brought the A team together. We brought our Navy SEALs guys to the table, and we just kind of grounded out. The other thing Kevin did out of the gate, and I think this is critically important, coming from a sales background, one of the things you always look for is champions. And Kevin and team identify key influential champions within the business, both in the stores and the restaurant. And we kind of showcase what good looks like. So we give them a sneak preview, pre-UAT, of what the solution might look like. And before you know it, these guys are waving our banner for us. So when you have a few ups and downs during any project, these people were really behind us full court press. So that was pretty important. We did a weekly project management call. And Kevin was on every one of those. I was as well. When barriers came up, Kevin simply just knocked them down. So both sides kind of leaned in. So very, very excited about it. We also built into the model, the commercial model, there is implementation, and then there's life after go live. So we always knew there was going to be a release 2, release 3, release 4. And we're kind of in release 2 and release 3 at this point, kind of doing some optimization work with Kevin. So I want to thank you, Shawn, Kevin, and Chris Siebel from Salesforce. We couldn't be happier with the relationship.
Yeah, so I've got the kill side there, but I want to get really quick. What's next for Cracker Barrel with regards to ITSC?
Kill sign early. Okay, I guess it'll speed it up.
Give one of these. I think about 2 minutes. But
all right,
clearly want to do this and kind of say what's next from an ITSC solution and employee experience at Cracker Barrel.
Sure. Well, since we implemented it, we used to have 800 open tickets at any time. We've moved that down to about 200 to 300 open tickets. So we've had some huge success there. We've moved 30% of our calls coming in over the voice channel into the IT service center channel through our employee service portal. And I mentioned before, it needed to scale beyond just IT. We are now bringing on new use cases around operations, human resources. We're going to bring payroll, HR on there, facilities, maintenance requests, all these things that are really unmanaged today can be managed through cases and real good reporting through the IT Service Center reporting dashboards that we can slice and dice the data however we want. It's really a phenomenal system. Our employees love it. They're not on the phone with support anymore. We have a knowledge base. I didn't even talk about the knowledge base. Oh my God, it's like having Google for Cracker Barrel. Our own little Cracker Barrel Google. You just search for whatever you're looking for. It shows them all trending articles, what's happening. You can comment and like on the article, etc. Super cool. In every case that we close it with a knowledge article associated with that case. So if anybody else has it again, the people in the field can find that without having to call store support. So we are looking to expand this out throughout the entire organization. IT was only the first part of it. We're looking to really blow it out of the water with human resources as well.
Awesome. That's fantastic, Kevin. So Kevin, Keith, thank you so much for joining the session today. I do appreciate your time. Thank you for the great collaboration with Tanium and Salesforce with regards to Cracker Barrel and IT Service Center. So thank you guys. Do appreciate it.